we got the Chargers at the Giants. Sunday early slate. Jaxson Dart making his first start. Giants are 6.5 point underdogs at home with a rookie going against Jesse Minter. Slop watch here. What are you watching in this game during Dart's first start against a Chargers defense that's extremely well coached?
Just survive, man. Just get to the next down. That's.
Did you think this was the right week for it? Like, what do you think about the Giants right now? Like, I kind of know, but I want to hear it.
I think that every game in the NFL is very hard. And the idea that you should just wait for an easy opponent, like, to put him in, I don't buy that at all. Because what? If Jaxson Dart gets absolutely clobbered this weekend and throws like for 40 yards and throws 3 interceptions, that ruins the rest of his career. Sounds like he just wasn't ever good in the first place, you know? So I don't think people have actually thought about what it means when they say stuff like that, and also don't really think about like what it means to the rest of the team. Is like, oh, so the rest of us should just go get our ass beat with no chance to win because we got to protect the feelings of some rookie quarterback. Like last year when people were saying, oh, you can't start Drake May against the Texans, why not? Why not? I mean, are you going to bench him against the Jets twice a year when he has to play against Quinnen Williams? Like, what are we talking about here? It really, to me, it makes absolutely no sense when people make those arguments only because they aren't thought through. Like, if you want to say that, hey, we want to sit Jaxson Dart on the bench for the whole season because we think it'd be valuable for him to learn as he's coming over from Lane Kiffin's offense, that's fine. But like the idea that you should save him for some easy opponent, like he's a rookie quarterback starting in the NFL. There are no easy opponents. It's going to be hard. He's on one of the worst teams in the NFL. So just go get your ass kicked now and let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Right. That's what you say he needs reps. What better reps than the live reps? These are reps. Let's get those live bullets firing.
I do think like the second part of it is like it has more to do with like media reaction and fan reaction to bad games, because if we could just be more rational about like a rookie quarterback having a bad game, like you probably wouldn't hear people say this as much. But since we can't handle that anymore, we can't handle like 22-year-old quarterbacks having bad games as a society. You get people saying ridiculous things like, oh, just wait until you get to the easy NFL team to play against when you've never played against an NFL team before.
Yeah, none of it's easy. There's no good week to drop a guy in. There's still game plans and blitzes, and like that's the thing. It's not just like a pass rusher winning against a bad offensive lineman. It's like the looks you get don't change. Like it's going to be hard. Like, you know, there's not like there's a couple bad defensive coordinators and everything, but most of them can just throw something at you that's going to make it hard. Like even the Saints, they play next week. Like it's okay. Yeah, maybe not the most tenacious defense you've ever seen. They still got some dudes, and they still, like, Brandon Staley actually has been throwing some funk out there. That's not easy for a guy, like you said, that's just jumping from the SEC, especially a guy that I thought needed time. I had a 3rd-round grade on him. I thought, you know, this guy needs time. He's a project. That's why they have Russell Wilson. He's a project. Then they go 0-3, and then Brian Dable's like, yeah, it's my decision. It's like, no, it's your decision. It's like, he had to like announce it. It's my decision. I was like, yeah, of course it's your decision, Coach Dable. Like, it's like, that is, every step of the way has been your decision. This is all about your job. Everything about this.
This reminds me of a great quote. One of my long-time childhood buddies played linebacker in the NFL for a little bit. I'm going to hide his name because he's my friend. But he was telling me about like his first year in the NFL, and he was like, bro, every single week I play against the best football player I've ever played against. And I was like, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, you know? Every week play against the best football player I've ever played against.
Chris Long was talking about when he got drafted by the Rams, and he was with Steven Jackson. You know, freaking Steven Jackson was like one of the all-time like bus team guys, first guys off the bus at running back. You know, and he said, you know, who's going to tackle this guy? And he said he's sniffing, smelling salts, and just like his eyes are bloodshot red, and he takes like the first carry and he just gets lit the up on the first play. And Chris Long's like, That just happened to Steven? Oh my God. And this is a guy that's been around the NFL's whole life. This is the guy who's like who his dad was and everything. And that's, trust me, I've had the same moments where I've seen guys get hit on the sideline. I'm like, oh my God. Like it's, be on the sideline that's what I've always told people. It's like TV's one thing, stands is one thing. Be on the sideline for one NFL game and your entire perspective will change based on the speed, how quick things happen. Like it's insane. It's even the most mature players just have those moments where it's like, whew, that wasn't like that in college. There's no breaks. But anyways, off the philosophical stuff, I think I'm just going to continue a note that I had from last week. Chargers defense, susceptible to scrambles. Jaxson Dart, I feel like, is going to run a whole lot in this game. I think design runs, I think scrambles. His scramble rate was nearly 10% in college. It was over 10% in the preseason. 10% is a high number. Chargers defense, 28th in scramble EPA per allowed. 3 explosive scrambles allowed. They've allowed the most yards to scrambles this year. Hopefully you were on that Bo Nix over last weekend. But I think you're going to see Jaxson Dart running a whole bunch on design runs and on scrambles when he has to drop back. So it will be interesting to see against a very well-coached defense. Predictions, just real quick. Chargers are 6.5-point favorites.
Yeah, Chargers 6.5 covered.
Chargers all the way. Yeah, I think so too. I think also the offense will have plenty of fun as well. All right, we haven't gotten to it, but we had to slip in a Haas fight. So we have an honorary Haas fight of the week, and that's the Browns at the Lions. Just real quick, Browns defense is awesome. Lions offense can cave some heads in, as you like to say. Haas fight of the week. Anything more than that? Anything you want? Any shout outs? Anything else you want to throw out there?
No, that's it. Like if you're so interested, maybe you watch some highlights of the Browns run game after the game. But the only thing, if you want to watch this game, keep it on when Detroit offense is on versus Cleveland defense. Other than that, go to red zone.
That's
back and forth.
Great advice from Dr. Charles, from Dr. Verts over there. But yeah, just all I got is check out some of the young guys on the Browns defense. Mason Graham, Carson Schweschinger. They've been doing some cool stuff. That would be my one little thing here. So honorary Haas fight. I'm glad we got to throw that one in there.
I say Myles Garrett is playing like he believes the Browns actually have a plan. So it's been kind of fun,
And the offense isn't terrible. Dude.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Well, you just mentioned the rewatch. Like Quinshon Judkins is real. Which is fun.
It's good.
As far as real football stuff. That's all I'm talking about here, just football. And also I just think some of the like Joe Flacco's spinning it a couple times. He can't move, but a couple mortars get launched and it's pretty fun. So it's not the worst thing I've ever seen on offense. It's like more, whatever. So yeah, honorary Haas fight. Glad we got that in. Now, though, to cap off the show, it's time for some Hail Marys. Got Stone on that soundboard, just churning it out. Yeah, this is Hail Marys is where we throw up a prayer of a prediction. I think this is apt for the name Hail Marys. We're trying not to make it easy on ourselves. We're 0-3 so far. We had some close ones last week, though. Chiefs barely outgained the Giants, and Caleb had 298 passing yards when I predicted 300. I should have said just over 250, and that would have been nice and easy. But Charles, what is your Hail Mary this week?
Okay, so I'm piggybacking off of all of those scramble stats that you had about Jaxson Dart and the Chargers. And I understand that the Chargers are not good against scrambles. And I understand that Jaxson Dart is going to scramble a lot. But I still do think there is some room for some absolute foolishness to happen here with Jaxson Dart when you're in your first game and you've come from whatever bastardization offense that Lane has scrambled on with the Brile stuff and to create
the money
this
play,
the money cheese play offense. Yes, it's despicable. But I think Chargers linebacker Daiyan Henley hawks down Jaxson Dart for a strip sack in this game.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Where you see like the Looney Tune birds, like Jaxson Dart's near the sideline, and he doesn't realize how fast Henley is. And you see the whirly bird, like Looney Tunes going off in his head, and then boom, strip sack. That's what I think happens in this game.
Glad you got a Looney Tunes reference in there. No, I didn't mention this, but I was going to say Chargers got some team speed. So, that might be a big revelation that even if the FCC is fast, It's not NFL fast. And Henley is exactly who I was thinking of when I said that. I like that one a lot. Yeah, so I think they would be out in space. And the success rate's actually not bad for the Chargers defense. I just like to bring up the other numbers as well. It sounds better. All right, my Hail Mary this week, kind of boring, but I want to get on the board a little bit. And I'm saying, pretty good odds if you want to tell this one. We're coming close. I say the Jags beat the 49ers outright. They are 3.5-point underdogs. I don't know. Jags are a little sloppy on offense, but I keep talking about this with Matt. They got some good stuff, man. They really are like doing some good things. I think Trevor's operating actually pretty good. It's one of those. He's a rewatch guy, and I think that's why there's so much disconnect between how he actually plays and what it looks like on TV. But no, I do think that it's well coached. I know I mentioned the penalties, but I think those are clean. Those will get cleaned up. But I think the offensive line's going in the right direction. I think this coaching staff's got a lot of cool ideas in the red zone, a lot of cool ideas on third down. I think they're using personnel pretty well. And I just think that, Brian Thomas Jr. is that last play, that last play against the Texans just felt, or the play that put them ahead or set them up to go ahead, kind of gave them some nice taste in their mouth, I think. They're getting more touches to Tootin on offense. I think it's really come together. And I think the defense, this is going to be a huge test. They haven't really played the, murderer's row of offenses, but the defense is playing well, and they got some good edge rushers. Curious if the interior guys can do anything. But the linebackers are playing great. Devin Lloyd's playing well. And I've never been really high on him. Jordan Lewis looks awesome. I think the 49ers offense, of course, no
he's
joke.
Been good. Jordan Lewis has been good, man. Yeah,
that was a surprise. I thought he was fine, but I didn't know he was like this. He was actually took over a game. They're going to say, they got a lot of takeaways and everything, but they're just doing some good stuff. And I think this 49ers team just can't get healthy. Nick Bosa's now out. Ricky Pearsall didn't practice. He said he would play if it were a game day, but I'd rather have my top receiver practicing. Who knows with Juwan Jennings? Purdy might be back, but he is still banged up. So I do think, but Mac Jones was doing a fine impression in that offense. I think his success rate is over 50%, so it's not like anything to wave away. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jags here. Not that I think the 49ers are still a valid playoff team. God, but they just got to get healthy. And I just think the Jags, though, this would be they're close to putting together a big one where they actually put away a game. Might not be this week, but I think they're going to at least hang in there and maybe cover this game as well. So yeah,
I like that one.
Jags beat the 49ers. Yeah, let's do it.